Hello, this is Stephen Out, and yes, we are back with another Batman 66 episode review. Today, we'll be reviewing the episode Batman Satisfaction, the part 2 to the infamous Green Batman and Green Hornet crossover, as they too will be tackling Colonel Gumm, making, sadly, his last appearance in 66. Or at least the show. Without further ado, let's hop into the review. We pick up in our previous episode with the Green Hornet and Kato thrown into essentially a giant machine to be turned into giant stamps. Once they're done, Batman and Robin will soon follow the same fate. Opening credits, and we get back to where we started. Just as Kato's giant large stamp comes out, Colonel Gumm and his men plan to put Batman and Robin in. Once the Colonel Gumm uses his glue dissolvent spray to plan to throw him in, Batman and Robin use the opportunity to quickly knock out Colonel Gumm and his men and quickly head to the machine. Batman still believing the Green Hornet to still be alive. Colonel Gumm and his men quickly make their escape, whilst also taking Miss Pinkston as a hostage in order to keep Batman and Robin off their trail. Just as that's happening, the Green Hornet and Kato quickly get out of the machine when the Green Hornet uses his Hornet Sting, a device that essentially uses to vibrate and destroy objects. Just as soon as he makes his way out, he then comes face to face with Batman and Robin and explains that what happened, that these pictures were actually photocopied. They weren't really them. But Batman knew that it wasn't them because the Green Hornet's little device wasn't there on the picture, realizing it was a fake. However, because they have no real evidence to really hold them on, because they're criminals in another city, not Gotham. They've broken no laws here except coming here, so they can't arrest them. They then make their escape. Realizing they can't apprehend them, they then search to find some evidence to do so. Where they go to Miss Pinkston, the office, and find the Miss, and because of the scent of her perfume, Batman comes to the conclusion she was there and notices that the alphabet soup is missing a few letters. It is revealed, of course, when Colonel Gumm took her away, that the dog ate some of the letters. Batman thinks she might be leaving some kind of message within the alphabet soup. They then take it to analyze. Robin is going through the alphabet soup but can't come up with the message yet. Alfred comes and tells Batman that Britt Reed is here, and he goes up to the living room where he and him have a discussion. Now, I like Adam West's and Van Williams' chemistry, how they naturally communicate with each other. The two were absolutely fantastic in this, and it's clear that they have a friendship. Now, even though they have a rivalry, there's a genuine friendship and admiration between the two. And I like how they point out that they are often jealous of their alter egos, even though they are the alter egos. We get some fun moments here, and I love it. Batman ends up going back, Bruce goes back to the Batcave as Batman, and of course they still decipher the clue. We then, of course, get a call from Gordon saying, "Are you still alive? Because we found the posters." Batman informs him yes, and the Green Hornet is also alive. They then keep finding, and they find where Colonel Gumm plans to strike at a stamp exhibition. But the power outage comes out, so they can't find out where she is. However, knowing the art exhibition, they plan to alert police, get there, and stop Colonel Gumm and the Green Hornet. Now, what I love about it is a nice little reversal. Usually, it's Batman cheering Robin's spirits up. It's a role reversal because this time Robin's cheering Batman's spirits up. I love every minute of it. Just as we keep going, we also find that Pinkston is in the warehouse with Colonel Gumm, where Colonel Gumm reveals his suspicions of who Batman and the Green Hornet are. But in the wrong reverse, he believes Britt Reed is Batman and Bruce Wayne is the Green Hornet. Despite it's clearly not true, considering Britt Reed would be in the Green Hornet City and Bruce Wayne is in Batman City. But hey, what do I know? Just as that's happening, Colonel Gumm and his men quickly make their leave to go to the stamp exhibition. And then, as soon as he leaves, Pinkston quickly manages to get herself untied. We then cut to being at Commissioner Gordon's office, where she's revealing everything. But however, the fact they don't believe that how the two could possibly, the Bruce Wayne and Britt Reed could be who she thinks is, they decide to make their way to the art exhibition to stop Colonel Gumm. Just as that, we also find that the Green Hornet and Cat are about to make their way there, but they're worried too, not wanting to get into a clash with Batman and Robin, as they think that would be too distracting to take down Colonel Gumm. What we then see is Colonel Gumm in disguise to see the stamps, and Batman and Robin, the Green Hornet and Kato make their way there. Green Hornet and Kato make their presence known first, just as Batman and Robin does, and we get a fight. And it looks like for a moment the two are teaming up to take down Colonel Gumm, but in reality, it is a three-way fight. Colonel Gumm and his men are not just fighting Batman and Robin, they're fighting Green Hornet and Kato, and Batman and Robin are not fighting Colonel Gumm, they're also trying to take down the Green Hornet and Kato. It's a three-way fight. I like the choreograph, it's really fun. And then it ends in a Mexican standoff with Robin versus Kato, Batman versus the Green Hornet. Colonel Gumm uses the opportunity to make his escape, and once again takes Pinkston as a hostage. When they see that, Green Hornet and Kato use the opportunity to quickly make their escape, and Batman and Robin use the opportunity to secretly sneak around and take down Colonel Gumm and his men, just as they are about to leave with the priceless stamps and all the treasures. And just as Colonel Gumm's been taken away, they notice that the Green Hornet and Kato have made their escape. But however, they're wondering what was his point here. But Robin thinks he was after some counterfeiting stamps. Batman thinks he was about to uncover the entire ring, starting to suspect that maybe the Green Hornet may be secretly a crime fighter, though Robin disagrees. We end the episode with Bruce, Brett, and Pinkston all at a dinner like old friends, and of course finally clearing up how Batman is not Brett, and that that Bruce is not the Green Hornet, and Brett is not Batman. We get a nice little scene where Bruce starts talking to the dog, and Pinkston says, "Really? You're talking to a dog?" Well, he says, "Well, yes." Everyone laughs, and we end the first ever superhero crossover. I like this from the get-go. First off, it's a crossover. We get funny moments with Chief O'Hara and Gordon, Alfred helping out Heavenly a lot. The scene with Bruce and Britt Reed are fun. Batman and Robin, all fun. For me, this is one of the most funnest things about this episode. How everyone's organically working with each other, especially with the visiting heroes. The Green Hornet and Kato are, for me, pretty interesting heroes. First off, they're different to more modern heroes. They are heroes who pretend to be criminals. Also, I like how they're the complete opposite to this incarnation's Batman and Robin. Van Williams and Bruce Lee absolutely deliver in their role, and I like the bit where the scene where not only where they're fighting Colonel Gumm and his men, but also end up fighting Batman and Robin. It's very well done and really enjoyable. But we be honest, if it wasn't for the reasons, Bruce Lee would have wiped everyone on the floor. Now, like I said, I like how they are different, and the show is completely different. Who knows, when I'm done with 66, I'll do episode by episode of the original Green Hornet. But if I could be blunt, okay, now, with that out of the way, what did this crossover do to these characters? Well, of course, now, like I said, this episode was to help promote the Green Hornet that wasn't doing so well in the ratings. The problem, around this time these episodes were out, the show itself, Batman, was also in decline. It would have helped grounded some viewers, but it didn't help enough to save the Green Hornet show from being cancelled. And as a result, that's what ended up dooming the show. Despite the fact the Green Hornet only had a one-season run, it has become a huge cult classic, and for many people, the definitive version of the Green Hornet and Kato, with Kato having a huge influence on the Kato character in years since, and also Van Williams' interpretation of the Green Hornet in years since. Along with the Black Beauty being the most iconic one of the most iconic superhero cars in all of superherodom. Colonel Gumm, for me, is a fun villain. I'm really upset that Roger C Carmel didn't get pretty much any recognition as being the special guest villain. He's kind of and pretty much the top billing for the episode went to Van Williams and Kato and Bruce Lee, and he was kind of swept under the rug. Despite what I personally feel, that despite my costume opinion, I personally felt that Colonel Gumm was a pretty damn good villain. He was more of a racketeer. He's obsessed with stamps. He's a counterfeiter. He's how he can create these weapons, and the little gag that he loves eating alphabet soup. Now, believe it or not, though this will be the last time we'd see Colonel Gumm in the series, and it will be, in the spin-off comic Batman 66, there will be a special one where Batman and Robin once again team up with the Green Hornet and Kato to go up against General Gumm, who is basically the same character but got an update, both in look and appearance, and we see backstory to how it became that. Who knows, I might decide to review that comic later in the series. And he also teamed up with Joker. And honestly, I felt that that was pretty that version was pretty good too. But it's clear that that version wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this one. I absolutely have grown to be a huge fan of Colonel Gumm, and it's all thanks to Roger C Carmel's performance. Pinky Pinkston is the first damsel in distress, but she's shown to be quite smart and intelligent, and pretty much helps progress a bit of the plot along. And she's shown to be quite smart and intelligent, despite the fact being a stereotypical rich girl who only likes to communicate with her dog. I absolutely felt that this actress really nailed the role, and it's interesting to find out she played Lisa, a villainous mole for the Mad Hatter, in a season 1 episode. Return for this. I honestly felt that she was well casted for this role, and I don't think anyone else could have pulled it off. Here we also get another window cameo. If you don't know who this man is, this is Edward G. Robertson, famous for playing many gangster roles in those early 1930s gangster films. Now I love the fact that they got him, an actor I so respect, so love, to pop up. And here he pops up because, well, he's poking fun at Andy Warhol, who was a huge pop artist at the time. His most famous Andy Warhol's most famous painting at the time was essentially a painting of a can of tomato soup, and people, of course, were poking fun at the pop art and whether it should be considered real art. Of course, Edward G. Robertson was more into the classical arts, as in like those classical paintings, and pokes fun at it. And I like how he pops out just to poke fun at that. He is so fun to see, and I'm shocked that he got a window cameo. It was really fun to see him. Batman Satisfaction is, for me, a good two-parter, and for me, delivered on everything. This two-parter delivered on a crossover. You see, this is what you need to do when you do a crossover. 1, make sure that the crossover doesn't fully, you understand the crossover with your characters. You've got to make sure the character representations from their respective shows are done well. 2, they don't counterbalance each other, such as when the Green Hornet Kato show up, they don't overshadow our heroes, but the heroes shouldn't be overshadowing the visiting heroes. So that was done well. I personally found we had a pretty interesting villain. Too bad he never came back. I wouldn't have minded, but I could see why. When you think on the large scale thing, he may not be that interesting. I disagree. I would have loved to have got a better costume. Personally, the piece of the action and Batman Satisfaction are some of the most iconic episodes of the series, and one of the first ever examples of superhero crossovers that people are still continuing to this day, both in TV shows and in movies. And to think it all started in Batman 66. And there we have it. That was Batman Satisfaction. Join us next time where Batman and Robin will be up against King Tut in his latest scheme. So tune in next time for the same Steven hour, the same Steven channel, ladies and gentlemen. So long for now.